Welcome to the show, Jamie and Mel. Mel, you are a veteran of the show of MJ's Progress Not Perfection. Jamie, you are new. They are the hosts of the Full Circle podcast.
We are.
Rather new, right? When did you guys come out?
A month ago,
a couple months ago. Yeah, I think shortly after my 4-year celebration, we decided we were going to do it.
Okay, tell me a little about the show. Like, people are familiar with my show. What could they expect if they go on to your show? Like, what's it about?
Some raw, unfiltered talk about addiction, adoption, trauma, domestic violence, unconventional family dynamics. Yeah. So Jamie Lee adopted a child that I gave birth to when I was in active addiction. Okay. So we decided to make a podcast. I lost my TikTok account, and that kind of we decided we were going to do it because I was like, TikTok is not reliable. I started my own little podcast on YouTube, and then we were like, you know what? Let's just do it. We've been talking about it for like a year. So we just decided, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, that's the problem with TikTok is, man, they censor the fuck out of everything. Like, everything. You can't even say, like, fuck on TikTok without them being like, no, we're taking that shit down.
Yeah, like, it was, you know how I go off about Palestine all the time. And that's what it was. I just went off. There was another attack by Israel, and I went off, and they banned my whole account. So
it's funny. That's not funny. What is funny is you just reminded me. So my wife has MS. My wife and they have a caregiver here that's 4 days a week, and their caregiver's in recovery. It's our best friend, and because you can pick your caregiver, luckily if you want to, and all the caregivers suck, so we picked ours, and it's our best friend, and her and I have a wet willy war ongoing, and because we're adults. And like, she snuck attacked me. She started this shit. And but we have an 11-year-old, and we're trying to teach him boundaries. So our rule is, if he's in the room, we can't get each other, because then we're breaking boundaries,
Okay.
And she likes to still get me, so I've been calling her Israel.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm like, you still fucking attack me when we have kids around. You're fucking Israel.
We had a ceasefire agreement. That's awesome.
So you just reminded me. That's funny as hell. Palestine situation is not funny as hell. Just
No, definitely not funny. But
all right. So yeah, TikTok is a son of a bitch when it comes to speaking your mind and censorship. YouTube, as you know, my show, we've talked about everything. I got my other show, The Unlicensed Therapist, where that goes even deeper into trauma and shit. There's nothing off limits with a YouTube. You can't show shit, but you can talk about everything.
Yeah.
And I like that, and it might not be as, the algorithms on TikTok. Yeah, you can get caught up in an algorithm really easily and get some views.
Yeah.
But the problem is you can get shut down so fucking fast, and they won't research shit. They'll just shut your ass down.
Well, and that's what happened. I had just had a video get 6 million views, thousands and thousands of comments, which spiraled into like a whole whack of people messaging me for addiction help.
Yeah.
So when the account got banned, well, there goes all the people that are using me as a resource, using me as a support and, recovery guidance, active addiction help, and all the loved ones that were coming to me for help. So when I lost my account, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. I can't rely on that app. So I had to figure out another way to do it. And I just thought YouTube is a lot better.
And let's be real. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, your TikTok account was Recovery Queen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were there for recovery. You were there to talk about recovery. Your video that got 6 million views, that was about your story, kind of, right? That was a little montage of your arrests and all that shit, right?
Yep, that's what it was. It was all the mug shots, and it blew up. Like, I had the Daily Mail from Australia reach out to me and want to do an interview, and then I lost the account, and they were like, well, there's no account, there's no video, there's no viral video that we can talk about. Like, sorry about your luck, but we can't do it now. So that was the unfortunate part. So that's why we just thought, you know what, let's move on from TikTok and let's start doing something that we know will be there tomorrow and they can't ban us for talking about real things, you
and
know?
honestly, like there's quite a bit of traction on YouTube too, like even locally, like
what did she say?
The media and stuff has really noticed us on YouTube.
Local media,
which is actually like super shocking and surprising to me, but
Everybody's been loving it. About Sudbury Times or some shit, or
Sudbury.com, right? Sudbury.com. They just
That's awesome.
They just did an article on the podcast. Her name is Jenny Lamotte. What an amazing, talented writer she was. She captured everything, not just her story, but she went through the whole podcast and talked about like episodes referred to episodes. And, you know, we talk about, Jamie and I both have experience with domestic violence, and that's a huge part of our show. So she really just went into depth about what we talk about and then our story and why we did it. And everybody's just like, they love it. Yeah. Everybody loves it.
We just did an interview with the radio show as well.
Yeah, CBC reached out to us. So we did an interview with CBC Radio, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they reached out to us again asking if they could have details about my human trafficking story. So we're just getting it at all sides here. And we're both like, damn, this is not what we assumed would happen.
It's very weird.
It's definitely weird.
I think it's a lot of it's
it's different
because I like social media is like a new world to me besides like Facebook and posting, you know, pictures of my family and stuff. I haven't been really open on social media, so it's a real it's really strange. Like people recognizing me in public is a very weird thing.
Yeah. Somebody went up to her at the school, like our kids both go to the same school, and she was at like this picnic or something at the school, and they were like, "Oh my God, we love the podcast." And Jamie was just like
covering my face. Like I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm like, that happens to me every single day, so get used to it. We're famous.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, Mel still holds the record for the most watched episode of my show.
I do. Yeah.
It was really funny because now you can see. Do you use YouTube Studio yet?
No. Well, Jamie downloaded
you don't fuck with YouTube Studio? All right, I'll have to teach you shit.
Okay.
YouTube Studio, you can look at like all the
analytics.
Yeah. It breaks down even in countries that watch and everything. And sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, it even shows the cities sometimes.
Oh.
And if I recall, yours, let me see, because we have the time. Let me just pop into your episode. If I'm not mistaken, it shows like, that's funny because you're all the way back. When were you? Season 1 or 2?
I have no idea, bro. It was 2021. My condition wasn't even dealt with yet, and I was out here talking about it. How stupid was I?
That's right. Let's see here. I'm on season 1 right now. I'm scrolling. Luckily, I don't know if you keep track. I keep track of my seasons. I'm on, like, this is season 7. There we are. 1,743 views.
That's crazy.
Let's see here. It shows your watch time, which is 351 hours people have watched for.
It was just Melissa watching it over and over.
Yeah, it was just
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. It breaks down all the comments. Where is it? I could have swore it shows, maybe it's in a different spot, but it shows you it's in some point in the analytics right here. Maybe it'll break down like cities and shit. Okay. Audience.
Were we talking when you did that episode?
We were talking.
We were on good terms.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
Yeah, this episode came out December 26, 2021.
Yeah.
So it was Christmas. 4 years ago, Christmas.
Yeah.
Halfway.
I was a different person.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. That was right before I started my job that I have now.
Yeah.
That was when I was in my meeting center still in my original studio where I first started out of. My wife and I were just talking about this, that I'm in my 3rd studio now. in my third place, because then we moved out of the meeting center and I made a studio out of one of the rooms in our old apartment. And then we moved into this apartment and I work from home. So I got my little studio where I work from home out of, because I have my own room. And we got a 3-bedroom apartment with 3 bathrooms.
Oh, nice.
And it's 3 full bathrooms.
Nice.
So I have my own shower and toilet and everything, like inside of my office that I work out of.
Nice.
And our son, he's got his own shower, which is good. He's 11. He's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
So, he's an 11-year-old boy. So he's got his own space. And my wife has the bigger bathroom, which is hooked up to our bedroom. So yeah, it's nice. It's, it's a cool little apartment. We don't mind not having a house because my wife's disabled with MS. Right. So like, having the wheelchair and everything, the powered chair, it's nice. Right now they're at a Pride festival.
Oh, right on.
So, but yeah. So Jamie, tell me a little about yourself. Are you in recovery too?
No, I'm not.
You're a normie.
Yeah. She's a normie. As normie as it gets.
Mel likes to call me the Pope sometimes.
Yeah, she's the Pope. Sometimes on episodes, I'll put a little halo above her head because she's a fucking saint.
I actually, I was pretty naive to anything in that world, to be honest with you, before Mel. She traumatized me.
You can tell them the story.
Yeah, one day I was hanging out with her at her apartment and she said, hey, do you mind if I get high? And I thought that she was going to smoke a joint. And I was like, no, of course not. I don't care. And she pulls out this kit with like needles and like a little sponge. And then I was just sitting there like, oh my God. Like, and I'm young at this time, like what, 20?
Early 20s.
21?
Yeah.
And I've never seen this. I've already told her she can get high. So what am I going to do? Like just sit here traumatized. And then it turned into this big, like she's screaming at her boyfriend because she can't find a vein and she wants him to help her. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. Like, what is even happening?
Yeah. So.
It's shocking the first time you see somebody shoot up. And you just took me back, Jamie, to the first time I saw somebody shoot up. And, I'm a pillhead, or I was a pillhead.
Yeah.
And I loved snorting pills. That was my thing. And I never shot anything, and it doesn't make me better or less than anybody. That was just not my thing. I just love to snort pills or snort anything, let's be honest. Yeah. And so I had this friend I'd hit up for her birthday just from high school. I was like 21, 22. And I was like, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. Because I remembered her birthday. And then, later that night, she hit me up. And she's like, hey, I need a ride home from work. I'm like, okay, where are you at? She's like, Camden. And, I live in Jersey right outside of Philly. Yeah. Camden's like one of the worst cities in the country. Yeah. Like, it's bad there. And I'm like, Camden working. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm high. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll pick you up. And pick her up. And she was dressed like
she was working.
She was working.
Yeah, working. I knew where that story was going.
She was working.
The stroll?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Broadway, Camden, working. I
knew as soon as you said Camden, I'm like, I'm Canadian and I still know.
I pick her up. She said, hey, I need to make a stop. Because like Camden's like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, Yeah. And she's like, I'll tell you where to go, get out of here. I'm like, okay. And I'm just high. I'm just going with the flow. I don't give a shit. I trust this girl. I've known her my whole life. And not my whole life, but, since we're kids. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to say her name. And we're driving. And she's like, by the way, I got to make a stop. Just turn here. And Camden's all one-way streets. So I'm just going with it, man. And she's like, pull up to this set. I'm like, what? She's like, pull up to this, right up here. I got to talk to this guy. And she yells something out the window. He goes, all right, pull up. So I pull up. Guy comes out, hands her something. And I'm not naive. Like, I'm a pillhead at the time, but like when you're a pillhead, you have a dude, you go meet in a parking lot real quick. He's got his kids with him, like it's like a family man, You do some shady kind of drug deal in a parking lot, you can go on. It's not going to a set, it's not going to the, so, and it's like 2 a.m. on like a fucking Thursday, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
fucking Thursday.
And we're driving, and she's like, just watch out for the potholes, because there's potholes everywhere in Jersey.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, God.
And it's dark as fuck. you know, and she's over there, and I'm like trying to pay attention to the potholes, but also I see her like doing some shit, and like she's getting ready to shoot up while I'm driving through Camden. Wow. As she's directing me, she's shooting, and then and Mel, she was like, you know, and I was okay. So she said, you know, oh, and I really appreciate, like, if you want, you can pull over somewhere and I'll fuck you.
Oh my God.
As like a thank you.
Oh Lord.
And I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't have a condom. I was like, I don't have a condom. It's okay. Want me to blow you? She's like, want me to blow you? I'm like, all right, yeah, it's fine. I'll do that.
Oh my God, Jake. Oh, that's funny, bro. Oh. The good times.
I gotta let her say thank you somehow. You know what I mean?
Somehow. Right.
She wants to say thank you. She wants to. Who am I to say no?
Oh, it would be rude of you not to.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. I know. I was trying to be a nice guy. So, but yeah, that was you know, haven't seen you in years. Okay. But that's just the way life goes sometimes. She's clean now for years, got a family, happy for her.
Amazing.
But yeah, that was the first time I saw somebody shoot up. And you know, I was high as fuck, but I remember that. So
oh, Jesus.
But yeah, that's funny. You just took me right back to that story. It's so funny. Oh my God. So Jamie, did you grow up in, how did you guys meet? Was it school? You stay in town?
Okay, so
oh wait, there's a story behind this because you guys looked at each other and laughed.
So Jamie, go ahead. You can tell it.
I was visiting my mom at an apartment that she was living in, and Melissa lived downstairs in the downstairs unit, and we were just hanging out, shooting the shit, and we just hear some woman screaming that she was dying. Like, help me, call 911, I'm dying. And my mom was like, don't worry about it. My mom lived on top of her for a while. Knew the kind of things that were happening down there, and was basically telling me to mind my business. And I was like, no, like something's wrong. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm a narc, like 100%. Like, don't tell me anything. I'll tattle on you.
I'll tattle on you. That's how you know you're a narc, is when you say you'll tattle.
No, she will.
I know. I have like.
She's solid as soup, bro.
Like, I literally will not sleep. Okay, I can't see something. But so I called 911, and thankfully I did, because Melissa was literally bleeding out.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend at the time had smashed her in the head with a dresser drawer, and she was bleeding out on the floor.
I've heard that story actually.
Yeah. So that's how we met. She's the one that saved my life that night.
Okay.
And I got a bunch of staples in my head. I came home, and the next morning I went to because I knew her mom had been giving me cigarettes and weed and feeding me and just helping me out, you know, but I had never met Jamie before. So I went up to say thank you, not thinking it was Jamie or anything, just saying like, thanks, Tammy. I know you're the one that called. And Jamie thought I was going to be pissed. So she was like nervous to answer the door. And I just said, thank you. And it kind of evolved from there. We ended up getting pregnant at the same time, our now 12-year-olds. Yeah. And, yeah, so years go by, we evolve, as we're very, very close. We're living in the same little town.
And we got pregnant again together.
Yeah, we got pregnant again. She had twins. I had Emily, who are now 11. And everything was good.
Wait, you got 1, 3. You got 5 kids between the two of you within 2 years apart?
So I actually have 3 biological children.
And then she has
my son that I adopted, that Melissa gave birth to.
Yeah. So I have 3,
which son of yours, Mel, does Jamie have? How old?
You
don't say any names.
8. He's 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you know the story about the baby that came out a different race? Remember we talked about that many times? That's the one she adopted.
Him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But when you all met, you have 12-year-olds the same age.
Now they're 12. They were babies back then, but yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they started at 12.
No, they didn't. Thank God. Imagine that. Pushing out a 12-year-old. Fuck.
That's my size.
Damn.
So you have 12-year-olds now that are obviously the same age.
Yeah.
And then Jamie has twins that are 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you got a kid that's 11.
Yep.
So that's 5 kids that are within a year apart.
Yeah.
And then Jamie has your 8-year-old.
Her 8-year-old, but yeah.
Well, your Jamie does
my biological, yeah.
Does your 8-year-old know that you're the mom, or like how does? Can I ask that?
Well, he knows that that Melissa gave birth to him.
That he grew in my belly.
He calls her Auntie Lissa.
Okay.
It wasn't like this big. We never had to like come out and be like, "You're adopted."
No.
First of all, he's brown and I'm not.
Yeah.
Neither's my husband. And he's always had a relationship with his siblings and his grandparents, so he was always visiting them and knew who they were and knew that we weren't related, but just didn't make the connection because he wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
But slowly, like he just learned.
Figured it out.
And he like asked me one day about growing in my belly because we were talking about the twins being in there at the same time, and I just like very honestly just said like, oh no, buddy, like you grew in Auntie Lissa's belly, and it wasn't this big shock thing. He was just like, oh okay, like it was just not a big deal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to be honest with kids, and then they won't like try to search for the truth.
No.
You know, if you're just straight up with like them, like about like what's going on, there's like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
it is like a normal, like it's just a normal thing. Like
yeah.
We just talked about on our podcast how one of his cousins had said to him that he's not adopted, and he was so upset. He's like, Mom, Aubrey says I'm not adopted. Like it was
which is usually like the opposite. Like, what do you mean I'm adopted?
Yeah.
So it's always been his normal.
His normal, yeah.
Like the other day we were at camp and he went, so I heard I have a biological father and that's why I'm black. And I was like, I was like, dude, you could have punched me in the face with that shit. And then he goes, do you know him? I'm like, well, I know him, but I haven't seen him in quite some time. And that was that. That was the end of the conversation. He was just like, ah, cool. You know?
Carry on.
It's, you know, our 11-year-old, when he was like 7, he had met somebody that was trans for the first time. And, you know, and we're very openly about like, about everything. Like my wife's non-binary. Now they are, but they weren't then. And, you know, they see this person and, you know, they had always known this person as a girl. And, you know, now they were transitioning to a boy, and then they were like 20 years old at the time. And he gets in the car, we're leaving this little cookout. He's like, so blah, blah, blah was born a girl and now they're a boy. We're like, yep, it's called being trans. And sometimes, and we just explain it to him. He's like 7. He's like, oh, okay. And that was it.
Yeah.
You know, people like complain about like, oh, they're teaching their kids this and that. Like, it's just be honest. What?
Yeah.
All you do is be honest, and the kids aren't going to be like flipping out.
No.
Because kids are going to know when you're fucking lying.
Absolutely.
And then that's when the problems start happening, because there goes the trust.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
So like we just, you know.
I take Jamie's lead. Like she's always been honest with him, and I just take her lead with whatever. Like she's his mom. Her and her husband raised him as, you know, he's theirs. And I just take their lead, and they've always been honest. There's never been a point where I was like, oh, why'd you tell him that? Because it's always just been open, honest conversations. You know what I mean? So, and as he gets older, he starts understanding what biologically means and how he's my daughter's sibling, but he's also Jamie's kid's sibling. And like our 12-year-olds are in the same class. My daughter and her son are in the same class, and they have more issues.
Yeah, they butt heads.
They fight over him. So they're like, oh, he's my brother more than he's yours. So they have issues, but they're also like besties too, right? Yeah. So I think just being honest with all the kids about how I was sick, I was not able to take care of him, and that's why I wanted Jamie to be his mommy.
I've always explained to the kids, like, in age-appropriate ways. Like, even when I brought him home from the hospital, it was, like, and my kids were only 2 and 3. Yeah. So it was, you know, his mom's sick, and she can't take care of him right now, so we're going to take care of him, and it was that. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did have to explain to my oldest what addiction actually was a little earlier than I wanted to, because Mel's daughter went to school and said,
my mommy's on drugs.
My mom's not sick. She does drugs.
Yeah. So Jamie had to call me and be like, you want to tell Aria that's probably not the best thing to talk about at school. Like, my mom's not in jail, or my mom's in jail. Like, just shit like that. And Jamie's kids find out, and they're more sheltered than my kids, because my kids have been through some shit. You know what I mean? They understand addiction. They know mommy went to jail. Mommy was in the mental institution. But Jamie's kids are sheltered as fuck.
They don't even know what that is.
Yeah, they would never know. Like, they would be like, now they know, because I had they threw me a surprise recovery party, and the cake said, "Good job for not smoking crack." And all the kids saw it. So Jamie, I went out for a cigarette, remember?
Yeah, my son goes,
"She's not supposed to be smoking."
Yeah, and then he's like, "But she's going smoking. She's not supposed to be smoking." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, that's
crack.
Different than crack."
That's different.
So the kids they kind of get it. Like, I did things that made me really sick and made me do really bad things, and now we're all very happy that Auntie Mel is better, because she's not doing drugs anymore.
Yeah, and I think too, my husband and I have a really good friend that passed away of an overdose.
Yeah.
So we did have to explain a lot of things at that point.
Yeah.
So they do understand like how bad it can be.
Yeah.
And then when they found out that their biological father, like their dad,
is struggling or was
struggling with addiction, my daughter had a really hard time with it, because she just was like, "I don't want daddy to die." That's exactly like first thing her brain went to was like, he's going to die.
Yeah, because Uncle Joey died. Yeah.
And that's, and our son had to learn about what addiction was when he was 7 or 8, and because we opened a meeting center, and that's when I met Mel. Jamie, I don't know if you know, but we used to have a meeting center in our town where we held NA, AA, mental health, LGBTQ, like a bunch of meetings throughout the day, every day, 7 days a week. And that's when I started this podcast. That's why it's called MJ's Progress, Not Perfection, and not JD's. Because my wife is Mikey and I'm JD, so MJ's. And
it always confuses me. You always have to correct me on that.
Yeah, so that was the name of our meeting center. And eventually we lost funding. We had, we weren't getting funding, and we were self-funding, and we shut down. Mental health, people don't want to donate, and stigmas.
Yeah, whatever. Came all over the world, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we shut down. But our son's like, "Well, what is this place, and why are we here, and addiction? What is that?" Like, and early on, like, there was a wine sign time. We had a sign on the wall that says wine time in the kitchen, and we took that down. He's like, "Oh, that sign's gone. Why is that gone? What is it?" And then we explained what drinking was, and we watch Bob's Burgers. You guys watch Bob's Burgers at all?
I know what it is. Yeah.
There's a show where Bob's like really high on pills. And he's like, "What's high mean?" And we're like, "Oh," and then we explained to him what high was, and so, and he's watching Bob's right now as we speak. Yeah. He's been watching it for years.
My son was at the dentist. He was probably like 6 years old, my oldest. And he's laying in the dentist chair, and he goes, "I'm so high right now." And my eyes like went so big, and like the dentist looked at me, the hygienist looked at me, and I was like, "What?" And then he goes, like, "I'm so high off the ground." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Never heard that story.
I was like, "What just happened?" But he was being very literal. Like the bed was like high off the ground. He's like, "I'm so high right now." And I'm like, "You're what?"
Yeah, who? Yeah. I didn't do this. I didn't teach him this.
No.
That's awesome. Where can you find your show? Is it on YouTube only, or is it on audio, or just YouTube?
No, but you can help us figure out how to get it on audio, because we've had so many people ask us. Like, I know how to extract the audio on like my editing thing, but I just don't know how to get it on Spotify and whatever, so people can listen to it as like a podcast. Yeah. Right now it is just
YouTube, and then we have some clips on like TikTok and stuff. But
we've made a TikTok page and an Instagram page, but other than that, the full episodes are all up on YouTube.
Yeah, and then you can. The easiest way to promote that I've found is Facebook, because you can put the links right in.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Yeah.
I like Instagram, but the pain in the ass thing is you can't put links in the post.
Right.
They have to do the work and go to your bio or go to your story to click on the links.
And people are lazy.
People don't know how to do the work, and they just like, "Oh, I don't know where the link is." It's like, it says link in bio.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, "What does that mean?" And it's like, fuck.
I know.
So that's the problem with Instagram. And same with TikTok. Yeah. You have to be like link in bio, and people are like, "I don't know what that means." And
even with the article that was posted about our podcast, she had so many links in the article, like to the episodes, and people were still messaging saying like, "How do I find the podcast?" After reading it, and it's literally linked.
You click
There's
it, bro.
Like probably 10 different links in that.
Yeah.
In that.
But like, we're Canadian, so we have really ridiculous laws that restrict what we share. So we can't share any news at all. I can't even say the word CBC radio. I had to write it as in like CBC, like SEE, because it wouldn't let me. I couldn't. We can only screenshot stuff to put it up. No links, nothing, because of these stupid, ridiculous laws, thanks to Trudeau, but whatever.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Everywhere is different, because I've interviewed people. I've interviewed people throughout 11 countries.
Wow.
On the show.
That's crazy.
Yeah. A few in Australia, a lot in England, Germany, Netherlands, Ireland, Canada, a lot in Canada.
A lot of Canada, yeah.
Costa Rica.
Wow.
Colombia.
And all about addiction stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Crazy.
So how do you usually connect with people? Is it through like TikTok? You just see
you reach out to people, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I met Mel through TikTok.
Yeah.
Usually what happens is because you can't message a person unless you're mutual friends. So what I would do is be like, I would follow, like, for example, Mel, and then I would comment like, hey, I got a podcast about addiction. I'd love to hear your story. Connect with me and we'll go from there. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
On Facebook, it's really easy. What I did and what I still do is I'm active in like, I don't know, fucking 8 or 10 groups, like recovery groups.
Right.
And people will post like a picture, like a before and after, and be like a little snippet about their story. And then I'll comment like, hey, I would love to hear your whole story. I do this podcast, and, reach out to me and we can go from there. And I'm in a ton of recovery groups, and that's how I meet most of the people. I would say a lot of the people are from Facebook recovery groups that I meet. TikTok, a lot. TikTok, second most. Instagram, a few.
Is this, do you like, because I know when we first did our first like initial interview, it was Zoom that you were using, right? Were we doing Zoom? Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, well, maybe you can show me how to, like, what this is. And because I was just going to do Zoom and like screen record the shit.
Yeah.
And like, do it that way.
I use StreamYard.
Okay. Do you have to pay for it?
There is a free version. I pay for StreamYard.
Okay.
Just because it's higher quality.
How much is it if I'm
$18 a week?
Oh, that's not that bad.
A week.
A week. Oh, that's bad.
Week. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do Zoom.
Yeah. Well, there's a free version. Like I said, there's a free version. The difference with the free version is the quality is a little different.
Yeah.
It has still high definition. It's still better than Zoom.
Okay.
And the logo is in the corner. The StreamYard logo, a little duck, is in the corner. And I might go back to that anyway because I don't get paid. I don't get sponsors. I'm paying out of pocket for this.
Yeah.
This is my hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's our hobby.
But this is it's fun for me, and I connect with people from all. And the reason I stopped doing Zoom or Skype, I used to do Skype.
Yes, that's what it was. Skype.
But the quality dropped.
Yeah.
They changed the quality, and I don't like Zoom's quality either. Yeah. So I like doing this because it's side by side, and then I can cut snippets and make Instagram reels and TikToks. Yeah. And I find guests also because I'm active in NA. So I'll hear somebody's story in like my home group and be like, "Hey, you want to do my podcast?"
Yeah.
So, and I know people from AA from back in the day. So
yeah,
I have a lot of
so many people that like have reached out to me in particular and said like, hey, can I be on the podcast? We don't know how, like with Jamie, with our podcast for Full Circle, Jamie has a whole ass studio. Like she owns a studio where she's a photographer. So we have everything we need. But like for Tales from the Trap, it's literally me in my basement. So I don't know what to do. I can't have people over. So I'm thinking this is probably my best bet.
I love it. And it's easy because like when my wife will be on, because they've been on a few times. Mm-hmm. I have this mic. I used to have multiple mics, and in my first studio, we would be together in the studio and next to each other. And then now we're in here, and I don't have room for that kind of setup. So we both have MacBooks. So like I'll be on mine in my office. My wife will be on theirs in the bedroom where they have a little setup for where they do recovery Dharma as their recovery
Okay.
Like, and we just go back and forth this way through StreamYard.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's really nice. And then it records, and then I download it straight to my laptop. I plop it in the iMovie. I do a little editing, and then I export it and upload it to YouTube.
Okay. I'm using CapCut.
Okay.
It's doing its job, bro.
Yeah.
It's doing its job. So far so good with CapCut. I've heard, everybody's like, why do you use that? I'm like, because it's the only program I know how to fucking use. Literally, it's so much like TikTok. It's the only thing I know how to use.
We had somebody reach out and they wanted to collaborate, like do an episode on their podcast and vice versa. And I was like, just so you know, we don't actually know what we're doing.
We have no clue
like,
what we're doing.
using like Amazon microphones and a cell phone.
Yeah,
so
literally,
cool with
like
that.
we have to switch phones mid friggin' podcast because the battery's dying, or I have no space on the phone. So it's like, okay, I got to switch. We're just playing it by ear, bro. We're not professionals.
Yeah,
but
no, and
people are loving it. So.
I was figuring this shit out too.
Yeah, and you've been doing it for years, fuck.
Yeah. My first episode came out July 7th, 2021.
Wow.
So a little over 4 years ago was my first episode, and that was I was planning to do them all in person. I was like, oh, I'll get all these guests and shit.
Yeah.
And then I did one. I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to get another guest in here?
Yeah.
And then it hit me like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then my second episode was a girl that I knew from AA when I got sober in Los Angeles. And she was living in New York City, where she's originally from. And I was like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? And like, we'll Skype, and we'll just, at the time you could record on Skype. And I was like, we'll Skype and just go back and forth. And she's like, yeah, let's do that. And we did that. And I was like, okay, here we go. How am I going to get another guest?
Yeah.
And I was in like a recovery group. I think I was in Faces of Opioids group on Facebook. And I'm still in that group. It used to be really active. Now it's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Are you in Hunter's group? You know Hunter?
Hunter versus Addiction?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I am in his group, but I don't get guests from his group. And the reason is he posts for you.
Okay.
So like he'll be like, oh, this is Mel's story.
Right.
And put a little bit of like a paragraph about you and then put your picture.
Yeah.
So I can't be like, hey, Mel, this is, I want to hear your story. So go to Hunter. Now, in like the Faces of Opioids, I met this girl, Ashley. Ashley, she's been on my show like 7 times.
Yeah.
Holds a record. I met her on Faces of Opioids. She posted before and after. And her first episode was like September of 2021. And I'm recording with her later on today for my other show.
Yeah, she's cool. I love her story.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She was probably one of the first ones that I saw on your show. Like when you asked me, I went and looked, and I really like that girl. She's a really sweet girl for sure.
Yeah, we always joke because the one time she was beating her dealer for money. Does Jamie know what beating her dealer means? Not hitting.
No, you might have to explain it.
Beating your dealer means like she told her dealer, hey, I have $60 to pick up dope. And she really had 40 and rolled up one of the 20s. Looked like there was 2 in there. And while she was on her way to do it, she shit herself because she was withdrawing so bad. So while beating her dealer for money, she shit herself. So with shitty pants, she's so open. She told that story the first time we met.
I remember, yeah.
And we've been good friends ever since. And but anyway, I met her in Face of Opioids. She posted, in that group, this is my story a little bit before and after. Yeah. And her name is underneath the page. So I click on her name, go to her profile, hit message, and then go from there, shoot her a message, and then become, good friends since then.
Yeah.
Met people through her, and people have been on my show. That's another way, is networking through people. Like, hey, I know this person who would be good on your show, or I know that person. And I'll connect you. I'll send you that. And next thing you know, you got all these guests lined up.
Yeah.
And
we got so many guests lined up. I just don't know where to start.
But what we have been
We've been bringing people into the studio.
Yeah, but like family members, because the reason for the podcast was to talk about how we had come full circle.
Yeah.
You know, we come from two different worlds.
Completely.
I wasn't super naive to that world, and obviously Mel was
in the world.
Yeah. To being friends, to her being back in active addiction, to adopting the baby she gave birth to. So we've been able to have like my family members and talk about what it was like for them, being a part of that or witnessing that and kind of how it affected them. So we've been doing a lot of that,
which has been great. Like we've had her sister on, her mother-in-law, like people who were around during that time who got to see like the full scope of who I was, who I ended up being, and then like who I am today, because Jamie and I were not always on good terms. Jamie, I told people she stole my baby. I said she was an opportunist. I said a whole bunch.
Advantage of her drug addiction.
Yeah, she took, exactly. Baby. She got her tubes tied, and that's why she took my kid. Like I said some not very nice things. And for her to be even like willing and open to even just talk to me in the first place is crazy, but we didn't see this. Like we didn't, when I reached out to her when I was 2 years sober to see if we could like reconcile just the relationship so the kids could have access without my poor 60-year-old parents having to deal with it all the time, you know, I just thought it would be easier for the kids. She thought it would be easy for the kids. We definitely did not see this. No. We didn't see a friendship. We definitely didn't see a fucking podcast. No, that's for damn sure.
After the way that she treated me and the things that she said about me, like I was just like, I'd rather be cordial and just get along so that it makes the kids seeing each other easier.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even open to being friends with her again.
No.
But I think even we've done a lot of healing since then. But the podcast, even though we did reconcile and we did become friends again, the podcast has been a really good way for us to heal that trauma for sure. Especially me being able to openly tell her.
I wish you died in a ditch somewhere.
I literally, like, that's what I said. Like the one day she asked me a question and I said, do you want me to be honest? And she said, yes. I said, some days I just wish you would have died in a ditch somewhere because it would have made my life a lot easier. And it sounds awful to say, but at the time I was terrified that she was going to come back and take my son. Right. Yeah. So it was just like, if you die, you won't be here. And I would have been very upset, obviously. Like, you know, I loved her.
But the thing is, like, I think a lot of families who are in our situation, because there's so many people who take in addicts' children and then have to navigate access and all that shit and seeing all the craziness they're posting on social media. And for us to be an example of like, yeah, it can get better, and yeah, you can work it out, and yeah, you can have a beautiful, you know, unconventional family dynamic and still make it work, not only just for the kids but for the adults as well. You know what I mean? Like she was saying, she doesn't invite me to birthday parties and Christmas and Easter because I'm her son's biological mother. She invites me because we're friends. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people have a hard time with being open and honest, and I think that is the only way to heal the past is by being open and honest.
I think that's honestly the only reason why we have been able to get to where we are is because Melissa takes accountability for the shit that she did when she was in active addiction. It's never excuses. It's never, well, I was high or because I was using. Will say, like, I know I was a shitty person. I know I did those things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, without the, oh, but I was sick. Oh, but I was fucked up. Everybody knows I was sick and fucked up. You don't have to say that. Just own it. Listen to them. Hear them out. Understand that probably wasn't the person you are today. So don't take it as a personal fucking attack. You were sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But nothing is going to get better if you just sit and stew in the bullshit. You got to talk about it.
Being able to, like, you know, for her to give me the floor to be able to say the things that she did that hurt me and her not become defensive has been a huge part of that healing. There's even things she said about my son that was appalling. She's appalled now that she's sober. Yeah. Like, she's like, I said that's fucked up. Yeah. But for her to be able to take accountability for those things and be able to be like, yes, that's absolutely not okay, has done so much for this.
And a lot of it I don't even remember. Like, I don't remember half the shit that I said in active addiction that, like, you know what I mean? So to hear that I actually said those things now, I know I said them, and I have to have, like, the onus is on me. You know, it's not on anybody else. I said it, and I have to sit in that accountability, which is hard for people.
Yeah, no, and you're right, because that literally just happened when my wife was on. It was, you know, to catch up what happened with me with my relapse in November.
Yeah.
And then, my relapse was a brief one, but ended with an overdose in the hospital, and he was psych ward stay.
Yeah.
And put the show on hold for 8 months and just to like focus on myself and my recovery. And
let me just say how proud I am of you.
Thanks.
Please. You are, I'm just so proud of you.
And it's definitely not easy. I'm in NA a lot. I do the work, and
good for you.
I'm of service. I host a bunch, and I'm going to co-host a bunch, and I put in the work. Good. And I have support at home too, and that's my wife was able to just say we're in couples therapy. We talk a lot, amongst ourselves. We talk in couples therapy. We don't hold resentments. When something's wrong, we bring it up.
You have to.
And and so but this time doing the podcast, we were able to be like, my wife's like, no, but you did this and you said this and you were high and you don't remember, but this happened and that happened. And I'm like, oh fuck. That did happen. That, because when I overdosed, the only thing I remember from my overdose is them putting a catheter in the hospital, because you don't forget that shit.
No, that shit hurts.
This is the one part I wish I would have forgot.
Right.
It's worse for him.
Probably at the keyhole there.
Oh my God.
The urethra isn't, it hurts regardless of if you're a man or a woman, man.
Yeah. So I remember that. But everything else I don't remember. And,
right.
It was just.
But you still did it.
What?
Right? You still did it, even if you didn't remember it, right?
Yeah.
So, and I find a lot of people are like, well, I don't even remember saying that. Well, I don't give a fuck if you don't remember saying it, bro. You fucking said it, and you need to own it, or nothing is gonna get better.
Even I had found conversations from back in 2016, 2017. No, I guess 2016, between Melissa and I, and even seeing someone that has never been in active addiction, seeing the way that I was. There's things that I even said in that conversation that a decade later, I'm like
cringing.
I'm like, I said that? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like there was something we were talking
body
about,
shaming.
A heavier set woman, and we were talking, and I was like, I said that? Like the person that I am now would never, like that's disgusting that I would even say that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's wild that there's even things
evolved.
that I've evolved, right? Or like that I can recognize that I did wrong, even though I wasn't doing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us can look back 10 years ago and be like, oh shit, like all the shit I said back then. Like we were still saying the R slur, like a decade ago in 2016, like it was not the world we live in 2025. And even though we were smart, articulate women, educated women back then, regardless if I was an addict, I was always an educated, articulate woman. I still said stupid ass fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know?
We would never age, right? How old are you? No, you're my age, right? I'm almost 39.
I'll be 40 this year. I think you're a couple.
Yeah, I'll be 39 in September.
Oh,
how old are you, Jamie?
Fuck you. You're younger? Damn.
Yeah, I'll be 39 in September. How old are you, Jamie?
I'm 34.
34. Okay. But like growing up, like R word, F word, and you know, it was just like thrown around like, like anything else. I feel like, and I want to say it so bad, but there's a word that you couldn't say back then that is said a lot more today. And I love saying the word. I'm not going to lie. What?
Spell it out. Oh, see you next Tuesday?
I don't ever call somebody, but I call inanimate objects.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm in a cunt mood or something.
Yeah. Like, or anything. The remote control's not working. You know what I mean? Like
fucking
something
cunt.
stupid. Yeah, it's just so funny to say.
Yeah.
But back then it was the C word, and now there's the F and the R word. It kind of like
wild, eh?
Yeah, but shit changes. It's like every few years, every 3 to 5 years, things will change. Yeah. Political views change. And we get older, we get more mature, we learn things differently, we understand people differently, like you two.
And we have more tolerance
about each other.
Too, when something hasn't affected you or you've never seen it, it's harder to understand. So when you're younger and you haven't, I don't know, even with using like the R slur, never seeing people with disabilities or never being around it, and then you're just saying it like it. You're not saying it in a cruel way, because I would say it just in a regular context.
Yeah, like, yeah, man, you're acting.
Yeah, or we're being. You know.
My husband was the one who actually like got that out of my vocabulary, because his mom, she worked with people with disabilities his whole life. So he knew that wasn't okay, where I didn't. So it probably took him telling me 30 times, like, you can't say that for me to finally stop saying it. It was just out of habit. Like, that's just how I spoke. But I don't think, like, I never meant it in a malicious way.
It was never meant in a malicious way. Like, even with me, because of TikTok, because there's shit on TikTok. If you say one thing once, you're canceled, bro. And I knew that, right? Because I've had my trial and error on TikTok. So I am very, like, I will not, and I hate to say this, but I will not listen to hip hop when I'm on, because I'm sorry, if I'm singing, I may, whatever. So I just won't do it, because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm being derogatory or a bigot or anything like that. So I just, we know better, we do better today.
And you know, I grew up with my dad's aunt had Down syndrome, my Aunt Tootie, and she lived to be like 60 something. So I grew up with, you know, like 15-20 years until she passed. And she lived in a nursing home my entire life, but she would be at my grandmom's sister. She'd be at my grandmom's shore house all the time. She had her own bedroom, and that was my dad's bedroom growing up in my grandmom's old house, where, you know, so she always had the best record collection. She loved music. And that was my Aunt Tootie. And
you didn't know no different, right? You grew up there. Yeah.
You know, I grew up, you know, Down syndrome, and just learned what Down syndrome was at a young age. And I, you know, I still threw the word around because I never looked at her like she, you know, was any different.
Right.
You know, and then you find out, like, oh, that's what the R word means. That's what people were saying.
Yeah.
You know, like, I had no idea. You know, she just has Down syndrome. I didn't know that's the same thing.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, like, I don't see any, you know, I just thought that's what that disease was.
Yeah. Just like being like, oh, that's gay. It's synonymous with the lesser, like Macklemore taught us. You can't say things that are synonymous with the lesser. Gay people are not lesser than we are, so why would we say, oh, that's gay? That's wrong.
Right? I love Macklemore too.
Me too. Oh my god.
When I first got sober, when I got sober in 2018, like, I listened to him all the time.
He's amazing.
And Macklemore I listened to a lot. I listened to AJR a lot. I still listen to AJR a lot.
I don't know who that is.
They're more like poppy, pop punkish kind of.
Okay.
And Eminem, I listen, you know, like, you know, Recovery, you know, that album 2008.
You know Macklemore. You
don't know Macklemore, Jamie?
You know Macklemore? I'll show. Yes, she does.
Pride and Joy to Seattle.
She knows
I'm a
Macklemore.
country girl.
No, you know Macklemore.
I don't know.
She does. It's on the radio all the
time.
Jacket. Yeah, she's a hillbilly, bro. She has like goats and chickens, and like she's a.
You know Thrift Shop, Jamie. Everyone knows Thrift Shop.
Okay, I do know that song.
That's Macklemore. There you go.
That song's not about recovery whatsoever, but everyone knows this song, Thrift Shop.
Yeah.
But Macklemore's in recovery, but he's got some really good songs about relapse.
Yes.
Because he went through a really bad relapse and having to, like, kind of, you know, pick yourself back up and walk back into the rooms of AA.
Yeah.
You know, another one, you mentioned country, so everyone knows Jelly Roll. I know Mel was just there to see Jelly Roll. You know, with your daughter, and that was fucking cool to see. And
it was amazing, Jay. Like, oh my God. I never saw recovery for me to be able to her other mom, like her aunt, to be so trusting, to be like, yeah, you can take her to Toronto to some random Post Malone Jelly Roll. Can you imagine 5 years ago that would not have even, like, I was not allowed around these children unsupervised, never mind to take my car, drive these kids to Toronto. Like, so for this to happen to me, even though people are like, oh, yay, it was a concert. I take my kids to concerts all the time. Well, you don't fucking get it then. Okay, bro, you don't fucking get it. Because these people wouldn't even let me around these children unsupervised a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, but this is huge for me. Right.
Especially
Angela. Yeah. Like me and Ange, we were not in a good place. Like, we have physically beaten each other up at times, you know, like, but for her she goes to bat for me now. Like, she's always like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. And she's just amazing. I'm just so blessed to have the people who had every reason not to believe in me, or every reason to continuously treat me like I was just walking out the trap, and they don't anymore. And they actually know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing well. It's just been a full circle, total, like, existence. I just didn't see any of it for me at all.
I didn't see it either, for being
right?
honest.
Nobody saw it, bro. Honestly, when Jamie she threw me that big, beautiful recovery party, and I opened the door, and it's like all my friends and family, and like she said in the speech, I never thought we would be around surrounding you outside of a funeral. Yeah. Right. So.
And that's what I did think, that once we had all these people together, it would be
a funeral. It would be them
casket,
telling, you know, all the things that they wish I would have fought, you know, that I would have fought for my life. And I just, it's, you know how recovery is, man. It's surreal.
So my thing with that was that if a baby couldn't get you out of it, nothing would.
And not just a baby. There was 4 people.
Yes. But for me, it was like my son, right?
Yes.
Even the things that, so he was in pretty heavy withdrawal when I took him home. And I had like watched him through the tremors, and it was a lot, and that made me hate her. Like, and I loved her. Like, we were best friends, but watching what she did to this little boy, I hated her. I was like, I can't even look at you. You disgust me. So for me to even, like, it surprises me that we're okay and that we can do this. And I think the hardest thing is for other people to understand, especially the people that didn't know Melissa before, like didn't know our relationship before. They're like, how do you talk to her? Because I loved her and I recognized that wasn't her.
Wasn't her.
Like, so I remember calling, my daughters had been apprehended, right, in 2016, my 2 and 3-year-old, and I was in some random trap house, like pregnant again, early pregnant, and I got a message from my brother saying, Mom is not going to keep Emily. She's struggling. She's going to end up in foster care, Mel. What the fuck are you doing? And I just picked up the phone and messaged Jamie. Like, I hadn't talked to her in probably months, and she didn't know my family, and I just messaged her and I said, hey, Emily's probably going to foster care. And Jamie's response was, the fuck she is. What is your mom's number? And she reached out to my mom. And then I pop up a couple months later, message her again. And Jamie goes, I've been seeing your girls. Your mom's been giving me your girls. So to have a friend like her, not only help you, help your children, help your parents, adopt a baby that's going through withdrawal, allow you to see him supervise when she didn't have to. She could have said, no, Doris, I don't want her around him. But she never did. As long as I was supervised, she trusts my mom's judgment. And then for her to give me another chance today, after everything I did, and for her to open her heart to me again, it's just, it's surreal to me. It's all, and that's why I tell people it's possible. No matter where you are in your fucking relationship with whoever, it is possible. You just got to do the work. You just got to take accountability. That's it. And you'll get there.
You got to be patient too.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks they can just rush to the finish line. They're like, okay, well, I stopped doing drugs, so I'm all better now. No. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not ready yet.
No.
It took a long time. Like a long time for me even to trust that she was sober. Even to this day. Like there was a few months ago where she got some back pay from the government for something, and I was fucking scared.
Yeah.
I was like, she's going to relapse. She's going to die.
Yeah.
Because every time she had, a significant amount of money, like, we're fucked. Melissa's going back.
Melissa's going to end up dead.
Yeah. She's going back on the street.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. But I still have those fears.
We all have PTSD from it. My parents do too. Like I don't have using dreams, but my mom does. My mom will call and be like, I had a using dream last night. Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm good, Doris. Like, don't worry about it. But my family they've spent, 18 years living one crisis at a time, just taking it one because I was the storm in their lives and all of their lives. So I understand how Jamie's still like, ooh, Mel, are you sure you're going to be okay? Like, she still worries about me. But the fact that she even gives a fuck and worries about me shows her character, So.
Yeah, everyone, people need to be patient with each other. You need to be patient with yourself. You need to be patient with the people around you.
Yeah.
Because not only did you fuck up your life, but you fucked up theirs too.
Absolutely.
And, and if someone's not ready to have you back in their life, you can't take it personal because, you have to do it on their time. And when they're ready, they'll come around again. And if they never come around again, then it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You can't force it.
Yeah.
It has to be natural, and you know there has to be trust there again.
Yeah.
And that takes time, and
Yep.
it takes, you know, work.
Yeah.
And the thing I always talk about is patience, and people don't realize it's like, you know, this shit takes time. Like I haven't touched opiates in 7+ years, but still, like I relapsed with alcohol, and you know I started drinking again, and I haven't had a drink in 5.5 years. But then I started smoking weed all day, every day. You know, where it was becoming an issue.
Yep.
Then I started popping Ativan all the time, and then eventually Valiums all the time. So I quit that.
It's a slippery slope. All of those
things. And then like
slope.
I quit weed and Valium, and I was doing really well. And then I started gambling all the time.
Yeah.
Quit gambling, and I was doing really well. And then quit smoking cigarettes. And then I relapsed on Xanax. And then I started smoking cigarettes again because I was so high on Xanax.
Yeah.
You know, and then I almost die, go to a psych ward, and then I come out the other side, and I quit smoking cigarettes finally.
Good for you, bro.
You know, and I haven't smoked a cigarette since January 1st.
Good for you.
And that's 25 years of a pack or 2 packs a day. That's, you know.
That's my next thing that I'm going to quit, I think, is cigarettes. We'll see.
I use patches. I use the patch.
Yeah, probably.
I use patches. And
yeah,
you know,
they give me really bad nightmares. Like horrific nightmares where I can't handle it. I've tried it before. But there is a medication that my doctor offered to me. The only thing is I had abused it in the past, but that was like 15 years ago. So he was like, well, you could try it again. I'm not in the same mental space that I was back then.
You can recognize when something's not okay for you.
Yes, I have very big self-awareness.
So Melissa was diagnosed with ADHD, and she was given a prescription, and then I took it once and felt high, and she's like, I can't fucking do that.
And I dropped it back off at the doctor's. Then he offered me another prescription, and I didn't even take it because I was too scared. Because I can't be triggered. I can't feel like I'm on meth. Even if it's only a couple days till it levels out, I can't. That is a huge trigger for me. I can't be like that around my babies. But I have that self-awareness now where a lot of people just don't have that self-awareness. They can't. I could recognize a relapse a mile away just in the way my behavior is. Like if I'm asking for babysitters all the time or asking my kids to stay at my mom's longer than they were supposed to. Hiding from Jamie. Because that was Jamie went from seeing me every day to hearing that I lost my kids and was like, what the
She was hiding. Fuck? I would go knock on her door and like her car's in the driveway, but she's not answering the door. And I'm like, what the hell? But later on hearing that it's because she was hiding from me because she thought that I would know that she was high.
And you would have known.
And that's what we always say, at least in NA, is the relapse happens way before you put the drugs in your body.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And
like I still smoke a lot of weed. I have a drink here and there, but I would never put myself in a situation where like I would ever have to turn down drugs while I have an intoxicant in my body. Like I would never go to the club
and you also don't put yourself in positions where you're going to be around those
never
things. Like,
I'm literally out in my front yard and I'm in bed by 10 o'clock.
And you've told people like, if you're going to do drugs, I'm not hanging out with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I just can't, like, because it's not them that I don't trust, it's me that I don't trust.
And you were never a drinker really anyway.
Yeah.
Like in your
my
addiction,
parents
like,
are both.
I was an alcoholic.
Yeah,
I was an alcoholic for a long time.
Exactly.
Since I was 12 years old, I was a daily drinker.
Yeah. I have like some trauma with alcohol. Like my parents are both heavy drinkers. There's a lot of alcoholism in my family. So it just never jived with me. Now that I'm in recovery and I literally can't partake in anything, I will have a couple coolers while my kids are not here.
And then take a nap.
And then go to bed. Like literally. So
yeah,
I had a couple drinks last night, was in bed by midnight.
Yeah. Well, we all have our own, modalities of recovery, and I don't judge anybody's journey because everyone has their own kind of.
Because abstinence never worked for me. I tried the program, I tried full abstinence, and it kept me stir crazy. I'm like the type of person that has to have something to look forward to. And if I know my kids are going to camp and I can have a couple of drinks in the yard and maybe have a boy over.
A boy. A man, not a boy.
Whatever. Dude, he was 28. I would call him a boy.
If she was calling him
28, Mel.
Bro, he ghosted me after being in my DMs for 8 months. I finally said, yeah, you can come over. And he ghosted me till 8 o'clock last night. It was like, I had a bad day at work. I'm like, block. Bro, like, give it up. But anyways, yeah. So.
Oh my God.
He's just a baby boy Cam.
Kids these days, Mel.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was awesome to meet you, Jamie. It was awesome to catch up with you, Mel.
You too, bro.
I will put the Full Circle link in this bio, the description of the episode. Because YouTube, you can do that shit. You can just link that up.
Yeah.
I look forward to when YouTube figure out how to do guests. Yeah. I'll join your shit and we'll talk. If you be your first guest, Steven, I don't give a fuck. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
And make myself available.
Okay. And awesome. I'll hold you to it, Jay.
Yeah. Sounds you guys are killing it. Keep doing what you're doing. I'd love to see what you're doing parenting wise and co-parenting. The kids are all the same age, and it's like one big family. It's like Modern Family.
It is. It is. We'll
it's like Sudbury Modern Family.
Yeah, no, it is. We'll send you a photo of like the whole family of all the kids together.
I just thought of something. Earlier he was saying we had 5 kids. No, 6.
I have
Caden.
Because I have a 19-year-old, so it's 6. It's 6 kids.
Oh no, I meant it's wild that you have 5 within like a year.
Oh yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, because I know you got multiples. I know Mel, you got 3, right?
What?
Mel, you have 3, and Jamie, you have 4.
Yes.
Okay, so 7. That's.
Yeah, it's wild. The family picture is crazy.
You could feel the football team,
right? I know.
All of you, with parents and all, you guys can feel the football team.
Yep.
Yeah, it's it makes for an interesting holiday and. Yeah,
Canada.
It works for us
because Canada has different Thanksgiving than we do.
Yeah. Ours is in October.
Yeah, and ours is in November, and then Canada Day just passed, right? That's your 4th of July. Is Canada Day July 1st, right?
1st, yeah.
July 1st. You know what's funny, real quick, is I just had a gambling thing pop up. Was because I like the Blue Jays. I'm a Phillies fan, diehard Phillies fan, but I'll root for the Blue Jays. They're having a good year this year.
They are.
I'll still pay attention to stats because I love baseball. And on Canada Day, the Blue Jays wear their red jerseys.
Yep.
They don't wear the blue ones. And last year, I bet a lot of money on George Springer, one of the star players for the Blue Jays, that have like an amazing game. And he shit the bed last year. And I lost a ton of money. This year, I'm abstinent from gambling. And guess who has like 2 fucking home runs and tears it up? George fucking Springer.
That's how it goes, bro.
And I'm like, that's why I don't bet anymore. Because if I would have bet, he wouldn't done shit.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah. It was just really funny. I said to my wife when it happened, like, oh, no fucking way. And they're like, what? And I told them. And they're like, you miss gambling? And I said, nope. Still don't miss it.
No, fuck that.
Don't miss it. You learn, you live and you learn. Yeah. And, the problem with FanDuel, I was using FanDuel, that they keep track of all your bets.
Oh,
and there's a little section that shows you how much total you've bet and how much you've lost.
And
in 6 years, because that's how long it's been legal in Pennsylvania at the time when I quit, or 5 years, I had bet 50,000 and won 45. So I was in the whole $5,000, but still 50 grand is how much money I had bet. Over time. There was one night, and this was like before we opened the meeting center and everything. It was like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I had like $25 in my account in FanDuel. And I'm from Jersey, near Atlantic City, so like I love to play roulette back in the day. Yeah. Where the ball goes and it spins around and lands on a number or a color. Yeah. And I started betting. It was like 3 a.m. because I have insomnia. And so I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'll just play a little roulette on FanDuel. Within an hour, I had $2,100 in my account.
And see, that's the problem with gambling. That's what it does. You get up, and then you fuck yourself. And like
an hour later, I had zero. An hour later, I had $0.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, right? That's what I mean. And you'll spend your fucking
mortgage. I literally went from $25, $25, to $2,100.
Yeah, and then
within an hour, and then an hour later, I had $0.
Yeah.
So now it's 5 a.m. I'm depressed as fuck. I just lost $2,000. You know, we could have used that money to open a meeting center, you know, not even get a loan like we did.
Yeah.
And my wife came downstairs and was like, what's wrong? Like, you could see viscerally on my face something was wrong.
Yeah.
Hadn't slept, just upset, just laying in the dark, just smoking weed, just pissed.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I just lost $2,000. And they know we don't have $2,000.
They're like, you didn't lose it.
They're like, what do you mean you lost $2,000, JD? And I'm like, well, I had 25 on FanDuel and I told them what happened. And they're like, I'm upset, but I'm not mad at you.
No.
I'm upset that you couldn't walk away.
Right.
But you lost $25.
Yes. Yes.
Don't beat yourself up too much. Yeah, we could have used the money, but I understand you were trying to go more. And that's the problem with gambling is, like, you know, when you run out of Coke, you say you get an 8-ball, and Jamie can't relate to this, and I get it. But
Nope.
You get an 8-ball is an eighth of cocaine, Jamie. And that's the
We're
weight.
Canadian, so we don't say eighth.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so you get $300 worth of cocaine.
Yeah.
And
it's more like 5 here, but
okay. We call it a ball. So
we call it a ball too.
Okay, yeah. So you pick that up and you go through it. And the problem is then you're out.
Yeah.
You're just out.
That's when the sex work comes in.
That's what?
That's when the sex work comes in.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Me. I don't have that pretty face. You know? And so, but with gambling is you're chasing that dollar the entire time.
Yep.
You know, when the reason I lost that money so fast is because I'm like, all right, well, I'm only betting $20 red or black. And next thing you know, I'm like, well, it's black 10 times in a row. I'm going to bet $500 that shit's going to be red next time and win all my money back. And next thing you know, it's fucking black again. I just lost $500 in 7 seconds.
Yeah. Drugs, at least you have something in return. Like for me, gambling, I never understood it. My brother is a big gambler. My mother is a huge gambler. My mom wins like $15,000 a pop. Like she's crazy, winning cruises and everything. And I just never understood it. I like, at least with drugs, I give someone money and I get crack in return. You know what I mean? Like with gambling, it's like you get money and you lose.
You get that rush though when you win, man.
It's the
like,
same thing. Yeah.
There was a few times I won some money, you know, like
my mom does.
There was a baseball game, you know, because I bet on baseball a lot. And I was betting on the Phillies in one game, and I had $5. That's all I had. And I put in this big bet. You know, 11 different things needed to happen. And if all 10, it's a parlay. And if all 10 things hit, I win $1,205 on a $5 bet.
Right. Which is cool.
And within 2.5 hours, I'm watching the game and all 10 things happened by the last inning.
Right. And
I had rent due and $5, you know, our rent's 18, 1,200, boom, our rent's 2/3 covered. Yeah. And just like that, I won like 700 the same way. I won like 450 the same way. I won some money.
But that's how it gets you.
Yeah.
That's how it gets you.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
I'm an addict. I always say in recovery, you know what my biggest addiction is? The word more.
Yes. Yes.
That's my biggest addiction still to this day is the word more. Yep. Whatever is filling that void at the time is what I'm addicted to. Yeah. And I don't care if it's opiates, if it's pills, if it's benzos, if it's weed, if it's gambling, if it's sex, if it's cigarettes, if it's coffee.
Yep.
You know, it's more of whatever food.
Yeah. Food.
Void. Yeah. And, you know, so now it's just a matter of learning how to live a moderate lifestyle and be like Jamie.
Yeah.
Being upstate.
We all want to be like Jamie.
But addiction runs in my family. I was very naive to it though before. I didn't know. But there was never anything in me that was like, you should try that. Like I could go to a party where someone could pull out blow and I'm just like, no, I'm good. And there was just never anything in me that was like, you should just try it. Thank God though, because anyone in my family that has tried drugs is an addict.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy, right? Because I'm the complete opposite. Like I wanted to try it all. I wanted to do it all. I was a pig. I was a professional. I didn't give a fuckity fuck. Any kind of drug you put in front of me, I will do. I can't imagine having the mindset of like, well, that's probably not a good idea. I just never had that, you know?
Yeah, brothers, sister, parents, grandparents. I'm the only addict.
Oh, not me. We're all addicts.
Yeah, there's a lot of addicts in my family and like directly linked to me.
Yeah.
But I've just never.
Thank God for
but
that.
But even you think about even the way that I was with just caffeine.
Yeah.
Like with ice caps, Pepsi.
Yeah.
That's
Food,
crazy.
yeah.
The way that I would like literally wake up and have the shakes at like 3 a.m. because I needed caffeine. That scares me. Like, thank God I didn't try cocaine or something else. If that's how bad it got.
We've actually talked about this in the podcast because Jamie really struggled with like intrusive thoughts and like suicidal ideations. Like, oh, I'm just driving on the street and I'm just going to drive off this bridge. And I looked at her and I said, you know exactly what being an addict is like. Because that's literally what it is. The intrusive thought, that call in your head.
I have a balcony off my bedroom, but there's no railings. So I won't go out there because my brain tells me you should jump.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but my brain is like, do it.
Yeah.
See what happens. So I don't even put myself in that position because I'm like, no, like there's this big famous like point on Manitoulin Island, the Cousins Center, that a lot of people like to go to. My husband's like, let's go to it. And I'm like, I can't. Like my brain's gonna tell me I need to jump off of there. And I don't even want to think it. So let's just not go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Because that's what addiction is. There was a thing in my head that told me for 20 years, do it. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't function in my own life without feeding that voice first, right? Which I think all addicts feel that way. So to know that she understands it in that regard, in a different way, it's almost comforting to me because I'm like, oh, you get it. You know what I mean? Because that's the exact same thing. You know?
Well, it was awesome meeting you and awesome catching up. And I will let you know when it's coming out because I have no fucking idea when it's going to come out, but I just know it will be soon.
It's all good,
I'll try to keep it up. I'll figure it out. Every Wednesday, new episode of my show. When is your episode? When does your show come out? Is there a frequency yet?
Whenever we have time.
Yeah.
Okay. Flying by the seat of your pants for now.
We're going to film right after this, so we'll have a couple episodes, new ones out in the next couple days. We usually drop like 2 at a time.
Yeah, and what I've learned is I'll go hard for like a month, and then for like 3 months I'll have episodes to put out.
Yes.
And you can get there too when you start recording episodes. You can hang out for like 6 hours one day, record like 6 different interviews, and then just store them, and then release them week to week for a month and a half.
Yeah, we've been doing that here and there because I also have a full-time
job.
So
Jamie's
have to just do it all on the same day.
Yeah, so we'll pick like a Friday or Saturday and just like, you know.
Sometimes we even change our clothes to make it look
like we change our clothes to make sure so it looks like it's a different day. We're sneaky like that.
Yeah, I literally I have 5 pairs of black shirts, solid black.
Yeah, we talked about this the last time, all your black shirts.
Yep. And so I have I'm like a cartoon character. I got the same uniform every single day. So, all right, it was awesome talking to you guys, and have a great weekend.
You as well, Jody. I talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.